What's up, everybody? It's the homie Truth Teller, the Street Reporter, and today we're going to tackle a topic that's a little bit touchy because this person actually was caught and convicted according to the police. You know, we're going to kind of go in story a little bit, kind of explain what I believe happened, kind of explain what led up to certain situations. And the reason we doing this one is because it's rumors all on the internet that this guy was convicted wrongfully, that he shouldn't have been convicted. They just said he did it because of his name and shit like that. I thought that was kind of crazy too. I done seen interviews with a lot of people speaking on this situation. So we gonna tackle DRose600. That's one of the top targets of the people always asking me to do those things. So we're going to do him today. I'm going to kind of give you some background on that one. His is a little different, though, because I actually had the opportunity to talk to him, actually, while he was locked up off this case right here. I did an interview with him. It was about 10 minutes. It's on my other channel, We Are the Truth Tellers. We talked about a lot of things. I actually asked him, do he still talk to Chief Keef? Do he still talk to Lil Durk? And he told me his bond is only $100,000. And when he told me that, I was confused. I said, damn, that kind of sound like he upset. Kind of sound like he feel like they could have came and got him and shit like that. I actually did that interview. I would have uploaded it in this clip right here, but it actually has some music in the background. So I don't want no problem, so I'm not going to upload it. But we actually talked a few times. He sent me a couple letters. Last time I talked to him on the phone, he actually told me this right here.
Truth Tellers. We are Truth Tellers. I appreciate all your support, all your posts, all the posts that you post. Rap Catch Up, Guapo TV, the drill scene, y'all too. And just all the fans that support me. That's really going to get mans and telling my people to see y'all shirts. That's what's up. Like y'all, I appreciate y'all really trying to free me and ain't just saying free me, you know. So that's what's up. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate what y'all do for gang lesson here too. To the utmost I do. You know, yeah, I highly appreciate it. I know they appreciate y'all too, my brothers. So, you know, that's just what's up.
All right.
Keep us lit. Keep us blowed up.
All right, we good?
As you can see, we start gaining momentum in our interviews and our letter discussions. It seemed like he kind of wanted to confide in me in certain things. But I had to be smart and understand that Chirac drill shit is very tricky. You could be sneaked and led to the wrong conclusions. Somebody will play you, you know. So I always kept an even keel with it. But we're going to kind of get some background on D-Rose. It's a lot of confusion as far as what he is. I hear some people tell me he a stone. I done talked to plenty of people who told me he a BD. So all the people I talked to and all the research I done did led me to believe that D-Rose, okay, is a black disciple, all right? And he's from the 600 set, all right? Now, it's a lot of people who say, no, that's not true. He's from Folly Boys. Okay, he's from Folly. Now, I'm not sure exactly. Me personally, I think he's from 600. I do think he's from there. He fuck with them too, but I think this is said he's from, I do believe he's a BD. Now, I can be wrong if I am. I'm pretty sure I'm going to see it in the comment sections, but I can only tell you what I done did off my research and the people I done talked to. I done interviewed people in his 600 set, from like 600 Breezy to E-Day to Boss Moo to Tay 600 to a few people. So I kind of feel like I got a small pulse on this once again. Now I could be wrong because I wasn't there and I'm only going off of transcripts, police reports, police scanners, you know, the paperwork, Chicago newspapers, the Tribune, the Sun-Times, and all kind of things. So I kind of put it all together and come up with this conclusion. Now, one thing about D-Rose was he was known as the enforcer. I know you might say that's crazy because he's young, but I believe, you know, through the streets, they say he was an enforcer, all right? He was one of those street dudes. He got locked up earlier in the drill culture when Chief Keef blew up, but I was hearing his name in a lot of songs. Lil Reese, Lil Durk, Chief Keef, all the rappers from the south side of Chicago who was blowing up in the drill cultures was shouting this guy out. So when he came home, he was kind of like a drill star. Didn't really see any rap songs on the internet, even though I think he had one. Now he raps now, but while he's in jail, but I didn't see any songs really, so I didn't consider him a rapper. I just thought he was like a street dude, a gangbanger. I noticed that. I noticed he was affiliated with people like Dirk, Keith, Fredo, and etc. Okay, and the whole 600 movement, and etc. Okay, I noticed he was linked to all those guys, which means they had a lot of those ops. I always talk about that because the reason I say ops is all we see is the 600 shit with a lot of beef, enemies, and always in things according to the internet. Now the internet has a way of hyping things up, so you can't believe everything, but on the internet, there has a lot of enemies and shit, and there's a lot of people from this side of town that lost their life, and we didn't see it on the internet. So I noticed he was linked to that, He was linked to a lot of bad things on the south side of Chicago, and he had a name that was actually crazy. Actually, when he ended up getting locked up, they actually used some internet shit against D-Rose. We're going to really get into that now, actually. They used some internet shit against D-Rose. It was rumors involved with D-Rose being involved in murders. Now, I know that sounds crazy. Truth, we talking about murders? Yes. Because I seen the shit on the internet. I couldn't believe it myself. It's all kind of documentaries and all kind of 15-minute stories on how many bodies this guy didn't hit and all kind of shit. And I said, damn, that's wow. I wouldn't kind of do that. I'm not knocking anyone who does that. You got a different angle. Hey, that's what it is. But I ain't going to put any of that on the board because I can't verify that. But I will put this on the board. It was rumors that he was involved in Lil JoJo death. And I just thought that was some internet rumor shit. I said, what the fuck? That's some internet shit. Boy, how the hell the people know that shit? But after I got to reading the Chicago Sun-Times and I was reading the Chicago Tribunes, I looked through some of the paperwork and shit. He was actually a suspect in JoJo's murder, okay? But he was actually cleared, all right? He was actually a suspect. I hope I spelled that wrong. I'm kind of a little off today. But he was actually a suspect, but he was cleared, all right? Which means the police must have talked to him about that. He was cleared, so I guess he had nothing to do with it. So that's one thing I want you guys to understand. That wasn't a rumor. That was actually documented, all right? But I think he cleared himself, and that wasn't that. I just think he had a name that was hot, and the internet was going crazy, and some of his friends were posting on the internet insinuating that he might have did that. I seen that also inside of the newspapers and the documents and shit like that. That threw me off. I said, wow, police is watching this internet shit, So we gonna look into that. When I looked at that, I noticed that he was known as the enforcer. He was in a gang, the Black Disciples, which has a high reputation, especially the 600 set and the Folly Boy set. He had a lot of ops. He was affiliated with a lot of these guys here, and he had a crazy reputation, right? And internet videos that he was doing bad things to people. I also seen internet videos of him doing bad things to people, robbing people for their shoes, talking tough, dissing dead people and all kind of shit. So I'm not saying he was a good boy, but I'm just telling you that brother was doing some wild shit on the internet. Now, I'm not saying he wasn't doing a lot of good shit and he just didn't post it. I'm just saying the shit that was posted showed him doing a lot of wild shit, okay? We're going to get into what happened, right? The police is claiming, when I looked into everything, okay? They're claiming on February 12th of 2014. All right? Follow me. February 12th, 2014. They claiming a guy named Venzel Richardson, we're going to just put Venzel, was walking from the store with a group of people, some of his friends. I was told that a few of them had girls in it, okay? He's walking from the store. I believe the store was somewhere around 61st and King Drive. Okay, he was walking from the store when there a white van or a white truck, just a white car. I think a van that with the side opened up. So those are vans, not trucks. A white van rolled up, okay? A white van rolled up. Okay? The police is claiming, and witnesses are claiming, the white van rolled up, opened up the side door. Okay? Open up the side door and start open firing. And they seen D-Rose face as the gunman who was open fired. Blick, 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 blick. Blicking them, right? Okay? Close the door and ride off. They say Venzel, right? He ran. But he got a few, inches and foot away. He was running, got a little way. And he ended up collapsing, okay? He collapsed. He died, okay? When I looked more into it, I realized that Venzel was only 14 years old, okay? He was 14 years old. All right? DRose was only 17 at the time, okay? When this happened. I say, damn, this some young shit. But don't get me wrong, the young people be banging. I was kind of looking at it like, man, this young boy, I don't know what the fuck going on with this shit here. But in Chicago, the culture is different. Well, them little 14, 15, 16-year-olds, them like grown men out here, man. You take them lightly, you end up losing your life. But I did more homework because I had to figure out who is Venzel. I understand he's 14 years old, but who is this guy? I got to look and see what's going on. I see it's an internet video on there where he's doing like some charity thing talking about put the guns down. You know, it's like some school or program uploaded a YouTube video. And I see him on there rapping and stuff like that. Seemed like a good kid. I'm not saying he wasn't a bad kid, but the more I did my homework, I realized that Venzel was from, I believe, 64th and St. Lawrence, STL. Now that is known, okay? That area, right? You know, that area is famous, right, for a lot of GDs, okay? All right? That area there is known for a lot of GDs, Jaro City, Tuckerville, Taekwon World, FBG. You know, it's a lot of legends from this neighborhood. K.I. roamed this neighborhood. FBG Duck roamed that neighborhood. Brick roamed that neighborhood. Boss Trail roamed that neighborhood. A lot of ops that came through this neighborhood and took people's lives in this neighborhood. So I realized he was a young man, he had a lot of friends. He used to hang outside. So they must have felt like Venzel was one of those GDs that was young, you know? It must have felt like Venzel was one of those GDs. And I seen when he died, a lot of gang members from the other side of there, a lot of gang members were saying R.I.P. to Venzel. So I'm not sure if he was affiliated with the gang members, but he could have been affiliated with them, you know, or maybe they just felt like some shorty died and they just want to show the love. But the more I realized was he was 14 and he was from an op neighborhood, okay? An op neighborhood of 600 in DRose now, okay? Now remember, DRose is claiming not guilty. He's an innocent man, so we have to always keep that in play. We can't let the government and the police trick us into accusing someone. But I'm only doing the story on what I seen, okay? I'm not saying that guy ain't innocent. That guy couldn't possibly be been railroaded or people just saying him because his name is hot. Because it's a lot of rumors. I seen interviews. I seen 600 Breezy go on Vlad and say DRose locked up unjustly. I seen a lot of people say DRose wasn't the shooter. People just said his name because he hot. I'm not saying that ain't true. That possibly could be true. But I'm only going to talk about what happened, okay? Now, once I looked at all of this, they say he ran, he collapsed, okay? I said, damn, I'm not sure exactly what's going on because I seen the interviews of people saying DRose didn't do it, okay? So I said, hold the fuck up. Wait a minute. Let me dig in a little more deeper. So I dug into the police reports. I listened to some of the police scanners. I looked at the paperwork. DRose was not a guy who just people picked out of the hat. Now, maybe he was, but allegedly, according to the motherfucking paperwork, I looked at it. DRose actually was pointed out by a lot of witnesses, okay? It's witnesses, all right, that said they seen him, okay? A lot of witnesses pinpointed him and said he was the shooter, all right? Then I looked more and realized he was pointed out in a lineup. Over 3 to 4 to 5 people had pointed him out in a lineup. He was pointed out in a lineup, okay? He was pointed out in lineup. I said, damn, that's going to be hard to beat when people pointed you out. Now, I'm not going to say that the people who pointed you out wasn't from an op neighborhood, okay? Maybe an op neighborhood did that because you was a name brand. But, you know, in my opinion, when I looked at all of this on that board, in my opinion, I come up with the conclusion, okay? When I looked at all of this shit, and I could be wrong on this, you know? Now, I'm only giving you this conclusion if he did that. His appeal is still going. It didn't end yet. He didn't lose it. He still got an appeal. So, you know, I'm not going to tell you for sure. But in my opinion, with the paperwork, everything with the paperwork lead me to believe, you know, that maybe, you know, this guy maybe started, okay, believing, right? Believing his avatar, okay? He started believing his avatar. He started believing his character. The character of D-Rose, the gunman, Yosemite Sam, the shooter, the smoker, the driller. Maybe he started believing that character because he was famous. People knew who the fuck he was from rap videos. For him to want to ride through a neighborhood and open up a car, everybody knew exactly who his face was. He was that nigga. I'm not sure if he knew that, but he was like a drill star that didn't really realize his reputation because it didn't come with money. You know, YouTube is popularity, and a lot of people confuse it with financial gain. But he had a lot of clout, and I'm not sure if he knew that. That's one of my conclusions. He started believing his avatar, his character, instead of being who he was. And if you're going to drill somebody, you're going to drill them with not opening up a door and everybody see your face and you on rap videos that amass 30, 40, 50 million views. Okay? Then another thing that I started thinking that could possibly be happening, in this case, D-Rose, is maybe, just maybe, you know, I know it might sound crazy because that young man was only 14 years old, but if he was affiliated with any of those gang members who he had a problem with, because I did see a lot of those gang members shouting out Venzel when he died, maybe that shorty might have been caught lacking. And that's a bad thing to be 14 years old and caught lacking. But, you know, walking from a store, from that, you know, with your friends and shit, and you from this neighborhood, and the guy who's accused of killing you is from this neighborhood. Now, he might not live over there, but he be over there every day. This is what's on his Instagram. This way he represents. When I looked at that, I said 600 is 600. And if you don't know what 600 is, that's like 59th, 60th, 61st. A lot of people going to say not 62nd, but 62nd, okay? That's 600, all right? And this guy's from the Ott neighborhood, which is 63rd and like up some, okay? So I didn't find that coincidental, you know, that, you feel me, these guys been warring for a while. When you look at it, 600, you know, they're affiliated with like O-Block. So you got a guy like King Von who's affiliated with 600. Then you got 64th where Venzel's from. It's affiliated with FBG. You get what I'm saying? These guys are enemies. You see what I'm saying? So when you do the homework, it's not that really hard. So in my opinion, I believe it's one of the three. I believe if this happened, he either started believing his character, okay? He either Shorty got caught lagging, or this was some gangbanging shit, okay? This was some straight gangbanging shit. Now remember, before I end this video, D-Rose was not convicted. I mean, he was convicted, but he has a second opportunity, an appeal. So we can't convict him through the internet. None of us was there. All this shit that's on this paper right here is shit that I read in police reports, I listened to in police scanners, and he was convicted because he didn't really have nobody to speak for him. That's how gangs are. Gangs, you get involved in some shit, you can't look for your homeboy to get on the stand and say, man, he was with me. Niggas ain't finna get involved in that shit, bro. You gonna catch a murder case and be in that shit. Now, if that brother is innocent, it's gonna be hard for him to beat in that appeal because he's gonna need somebody to come in and say, I did it. Let him free. That was me who killed that boy. Go on, give me them 40 years. Because he was convicted and got 40 years. D-Rose got 40 years, them football numbers. If a guy gonna come in and say, yeah, take that away from him. Give me them 40 years. He ain't do that shit. Because you can't just walk in the courtroom and say, Your Honor, I don't know what y'all talking about. That wasn't even me, man. I wasn't even there. That's not gonna work. Okay? He's been convicted. He's been pointed out. He's going to need evidence that's stronger than the pointing you out and the people saying you did it. He's going to need some big, strong evidence to try to beat this appeal. Now, I'm not saying he can't do it. It's a possibility. But remember, always remember, you innocent until proven guilty. Because I don't want to be doing these videos convicting people. That's one of my main things. It's just I'm going with the paperwork. A lot of people ask me this, so I got to do it. So subscribe to my YouTube channel. Drop a comment. Let me know what story you want me to tackle. A lot of people have been telling me to tackle certain stories and situations. People don't got it been passed away. It's shit going on right now. Because I've been getting a lot of people asking me, why did Young Chop go crazy? I didn't know a lot of people really wanted to know that. And I actually got a crazy explanation for that I think a lot of people in the world didn't realize. You notice we ain't really seen Young Chop in a while. You notice he ended up going to jail and all kind of shit, right? You didn't notice that, right? So I'm going to explain that in my next story if I can get like 1,000 likes on this video. I'm going to check it later on tonight and see if I got them 1,000 likes. If I got them 1,000 likes, then I'm going to drop that goddamn video, you did? But subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the like button. I don't need no donations. Keep your own shit to yourself. If you want to support me, this how you can do it. You lift your finger up like this. You hit the like button. And when you do that, it make my videos grow and a lot of people be able to see them. I appreciate the love. It's the homie truth.